friends, I heard that yesterday our friend Cammie was finally able to drive his train up and over the mountains. Probably won't be back for a few hours, so we'll just have to ask him later.
I'm here. I made it.
What happened to you? Traveling on a train isn't supposed to be that tiring, is it?
It's not. But everything went great. We made it over the mountain and delivered the M&Ms.
Woo!
And everyone was so happy. And then we turned the train around, started coming back to the station, and that's when I got the very good idea. I started thinking how great it would be if we got to the station even faster.
Aw, did you miss us?
Well, of course. But to get the train to go faster, we had to make more steam. And in order to make more steam, we have to make more coal. So there we were on the train, added more coal, and it wasn't enough.
Oh,
so then we added some more coal, and we started going faster, but it wasn't enough. So then we added more, and then...
Ooh, you made it back super fast.
No, we ran out of coal.
Oh, that sounds so frustrating and tiring.
Yeah, just when I thought we were gonna make it, the engine stopped. We were miles away from here, so I hiked to get help while the rest of the crew stayed on the train.
Well, I guess everything comes to an end at some point. Coal runs out, trains stop, parties end, people graduate from school, grown-ups retire. Ending is just part of life.
Wow, that's not the most encouraging thing you've ever told me.
Well, let me finish. Today, my friends and I are hearing that Jesus' power lets us live forever. Thanks to Jesus, life can continue forever. It will never end or run out.
Well, that is the most encouraging thing that you've ever told me.
See, I just needed to finish my story to the end.
But I've never known anyone to live forever.
Then it sounds like you need to hear more about Jesus. I'm happy to tell you all about him because he's my forever friend.
Well, let me find a train that can go rescue the rest of the crew, but then I want to come back and hear everything you have to say.
I'll be right here waiting forever.
See you later, guys. I'll be back soon.
Welcome back to Rocky Railway, where we're on track for another incredible day. Let's start the fun by singing "Your Power Will Pull Us Through."
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey. There's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you, trusting in you. We're trusting in you, trusting in you.
We've been imagining what it's like to be on a steam train, traveling through the massive Rocky Mountains, and how much power it takes to do that. It takes a lot of power to pull heavy train cars through those mountains and winding steep hills. Earlier we talked about how the same steam that makes that kettle whistle, remember we talked about that, can give a train the power to pull a whole line of train cars. That makes me wonder, what else is powered by steam? So I did some research. Some power plants use steam, and they give power to an entire city. A long time ago, steam powered tractors, cars, even ships. Steam can create a lot of power. Today we're talking about God's Son, Jesus, and the awesome, huge, bigger than death power that he has. There's a verse in the Bible that reminds us that the same mighty, awesome, unbelievable power that brought Jesus back to life lives inside of us. Wow. We'll talk more about that after we sing this song.
Same power that rose Jesus from the grave, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us. The same power that moves mountains when he speaks, the same power that can calm a raging sea, lives in us, lives in us. He lives in us, he lives in us. We have hope that his promises are true in his strength. There is nothing we can't do, yes we know. There are greater things in store. We will not be overtaken, we will not be overcome. The same power that rose Jesus from the grave, the same power that commands the dead to wake, lives in us, lives in us.
We're talking a lot about big, strong, powerful things. It's easy to look at mountains or oceans and say, that's so big and awesome. Our big and awesome God made all that. But some of our God sightings are tiny things. God is so big that he can be everywhere all at once. But he cares so much about the littlest things as well. Let's celebrate our awesome, amazing God by singing Everywhere I Go.
Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave, the same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Breath upon these bones, your fire in my soul, your kingdom is my home, and I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you.
If you traveled on a train, your trip would have a beginning and an end. Life is like that too. We all begin when we're born, and our lives end when we die. Let's look closer at that for a minute. Let's imagine that this water is life. We're born, we go to preschool, then you go to elementary school. Then you go to college, and then you have to pay taxes. My, oh my. You work really, really long time. And then you have grandkids. But at some point, your life comes to an end. It runs out. There is no more. When we think about the end of life, it can make us feel very sad. But Jesus' power is amazing. With Jesus' power, we can have a life in heaven that goes on and on and on. Jesus' power lets us live forever. Our life on earth will end, but because of Jesus' power, we can have power to live with him in heaven forever. To make that happen, Jesus had to give up his own life and die on the cross. You'll hear more about that later on. But let's sing about the cross and what it means to us.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
I wonder who will help us remember Jesus' power lets us live forever. Let's find out.
Are you ready to splash into another fantastic day at VBS? I'm Finn, a rainbow trout. I'm happiest when I'm taking a dip in a clean, bubbly mountain stream. Ah, this is the life. This stream is where I began life. This exact spot where I hatched is pretty important to me, but we'll get to that later. I spend most of my day flipping my fins, swishing my scales, and exploring this awesome river looking for food. I love to eat. Me and my fishy friends spend about 80% of our day looking for food. I use my mouth to poke around and look for good stuff to eat. And sometimes I end up getting a mouthful of weeds and sticks. Not bad. Of course, it's not as good as the bugs or the crustaceans I usually like. I'll even jump out of the water for them. God gave me something super sharp to help me find food. My eyes. They show me what to eat and what to stay away from. After being born, I might travel to a new stream far away from my home. But when it's time to lay eggs, rainbow trout always return home. My cousins, steelhead trout, travel from a freshwater stream all the way to the ocean. Even if they've lived in the ocean for a couple of years, they swim against the stream to make it back home. That takes a lot of power. Wow. Home is important to me and my fish family. Jesus knew that a forever home was important too. That's why Jesus died, to pay for all the wrong things you've ever done or will ever do. Because those sins are paid for, you can have life forever in an awesome place called heaven. But Jesus' power doesn't just cover your sins. Jesus is so powerful that he beat death forever. But it gets even better. The Bible tells us the Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. That means a friendship with Jesus gives you the same awesome power that let him beat death. Wow! So, if you're feeling worried or sad, or things seem out of control, remember that Jesus' power is bigger than anything, and it's right there for you. Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus.
Finn is a fantastic and surprising reminder of Jesus' power and love. You're going to have a fantastic day at Rocky Railway.